Good evening viewers, this is Troy from the Troy's Visual Arts channel and welcome to Troy's Workshop Adventures. Tonight's episode I'm going to be trying to aim to do the rest of the things that are on the agenda that I mentioned in the last episode, which is to fix up a vidicon camera made in the late 60s, get it to make output pictures, to fix my Betamax VCR, which will be the first thing on the agenda because I have to do a little bit of adjustment to it, and of course, if I have any time, do a bit of fault finding to my MBTV camera and fix it all up. So yeah, there's quite a few things I need to do to it. Can't think of what to mention to do to them at the moment. Bit of mental blocks, but anyways. So yeah, a few things to get done tonight. Like I said in the last episode, I'll be lucky to even get one thing done. You just never know when doing projects and stuff. There's always obstacles here and there, things going wrong, extra things you need to do, that kind of stuff. Pretty much it took me a total of about to get this video effects unit modified and put into a case. It took me about a good 6.5 hours in total. Anyway, so yeah, first things first, clean up my workplace environments, which is the general ritual before starting anything. So I've got a nice neat workplace to get started on my projects. So away I go with the cleaning. Oh yeah, just made myself my opening TV show ID, Troy's Workshop Adventures. Also added some visual effects to it using that visual effects unit that I was working on in the last episode. So I'm going to be making some opening titles for the show, which will pretty much be this with a bunch of effects in it and snippets of my workshop. So that's what you'll be seeing in the opening titles, which you've already seen. So here we have the Betamax deck, which a friend of mine kindly donated to me as he had no longer had any use for it. So a good working deck. The only problem is its tracking speed is a bit off-centered, and I have to make an adjustment somewhere in the circuitry, which was suggested by a Betamax expert. So this is I might actually take the camera off the tripod. So basically this is a Sony SL-F60 Betamax. Very nice sleek looking front loader machine. Made roughly around about 1984. I've opened it up on the inside, and yeah, boy, they really pack the circuitry in nice and tight, with boards layering upon each other, and you know, it's well neatly arranged. There's pretty much only one belt that's used in this machine. This machine's pretty much gear driven instead of belt driven. Anyway. Quite a nice looking deck, and it's got good heads. The video, it works quite nicely, except the as mentioned, the speed's off a bit, so I'm going to just have to make some adjustments. Now, going by the instructions here, the technician that told me in the F60 there's a speed control setting on the servo setting on the servo board marked ×1. Just set that at the middle of the point where you get the machine to lock. So that's what I'll have to do. Now I've just got to find the servo section in the machine. Anyway, let's get to it. So yeah, here's the internals of the machine. If this camera tilted too far, it will switch the picture off for some reason. I don't know why it does. I don't know why they designed the camera to do that. But anyways, yeah, the circuit boards are pretty much layered upon. Camera going off once again. Pain in the butt. But yeah, the circuits are all layered upon each other. There's probably about, I believe about 3 or 4 big circuits in total, stacked upon each other. Over here you've got the head drum, you've got the mostly gears, and you've got only one belt here. I actually thought it would have more belts, and I thought some belts need replacing. And you've got the power supply section over here, or the high voltage is. And you've got the tuner section there. You've got all the brains of the VCR in here, the sync circuitry and color decoding, all that kind of stuff. Can't name everything. Can't name not much off the top of my head at present. Anyway, oh yeah, and of course you've got the cassette holder there. For the 1980s, this is actually a very compact looking machine, the way they arranged it and everything. Anyway, I better locate this servo board. Unfortunately don't have the instruction or the service manual for this machine, so I'm just going to have to hunt for it. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm going to set up the machine, play a tape, and show you what's going on with it. Yep, so it's just initializing itself. Right. What I'll do is I'll stick a tape in, you'll get a direct video feed, and you'll see exactly what's going on when I play the tape. Just to make sure power's on. Stick the tape in. Why is it ejecting it? There you go. Tape laces up. Now, I'm going to now switch the camera off and switch to Betamax, and you'll see what's happening. So what you just saw there is one of my Betamax tapes playing, and as you can see, the picture tracking was not stable, and you were getting kind of like an underwater kind of quality of sound as well. So you kind of a wow, fluttery kind of sound. So what I have to do is adjust the servo speed according to the Betamax technician's instruction. Now, here's the fun part, trying to find the servo board. It says marked 1. Now, I'm just going to find out where the markings are. Aha, here we are, got servo section's just over here. Now, just got to find the right pot. Instructions are a little bit vague on exactly. So servo board mark 1, just set. There's a speed control setting on the servo. Setting on the servo board. Speed control setting. Just got to work out which. Just got to work out where it is. Whether it's one of those pots or whether it's a switch or something like that. Alrighty. So yeah, now we're looking at the other side. So yeah, there's about 3 layers of circuit board in this section. Yeah, just have a nice little surface mount microchip. Didn't really expect to see that in a 80s era VCR. It's a bit dusty underneath too, probably could do with a bit of a brush. We see some more, actually see some labelling on these pots down here. Yeah, but they're not for the servo, that's for sure. So yeah, these are all labelled. Just going to read that instruction again. So in the F60 there's a speed control setting on the servo board mark 1. Speed control setting. Just set that at the middle of the point where you get the machine to lock. Middle of the point where you get the machine to lock. Just going to find the speed control. Since these are abbreviated, which doesn't make it easy for me to know which is what it adjusts, like CRS adjust, CFS adjust. I think I'll go and consult the internet and find out which is the speed control adjust. Okay, I'm back now. Yeah, I've done a bit of research on the internet. Looked on that Betamax Power site. Pretty much couldn't find any information on the servo speed control. There's not even anything mentioned on the technical faults page of this model of Betamax, or even the SL-F60, which is pretty much identical to this Betamax. So yeah, sadly no information. The trouble is when these are abbreviated, these adjustment pots, when they're abbreviated, and you don't have the service manual, you sort of don't have a clue what adjusts what. Anyway, we'll flip it over and look on top once again. shit. This bloody foaming protection is actually crumbling. Jeez, I have to get rid of that. And look at this, it just crumbles. Pretty much press it down, it becomes like a fine, becomes like one of those, becomes like crumbs from a banana cake or something. That's why I can describe it. Okay, I think that'll probably do it. Now I'll just have to look on top once again and see if I can locate this bloody servo speed control. I think this Betamax project is not going to be happening tonight. Can't find the bloody servo speed control. I don't understand the abbreviations of all the pots listed on the servo control board. So I'm just going to have to email my tech friend and find out a bit more details. If only I had a service manual for this machine. Okay, I now have my next project to work on, which is to try and get this vintage 1968 Sony DVC-2400 black and white vidicon tube TV camera operational. As mentioned in the first episode, the second episode, this camera is powering up, but it's not outputting a video, it's just a blank picture. So I've got to investigate that and find out where it's faulty, find out where we're losing the video signal. Of course I've got my other camera, which is the VCK-2400 ACE, which is actually operational. It's made around the same time as this one, roughly. And yeah, I'll set this camera up to show you it in operation, so you can see what kind of picture comes out of these cameras. Well, you can, on my YouTube channel I've got plenty of footage made from this camera, including some car cam videos. It's a pretty cool camera and it makes a very, very lovely black and white picture. Anyway, and below these cameras is the service manual for this particular camera, and also for the other camera as well, because it's practically the same model. Only some very slight differences. Most notably, there's a external microphone jack in this one. Anyway, that's the service manual, and below that is the sync pulse generator, which is required to make these cameras operational, as I don't have the portable VCR that's actually made to operate these cameras, which supplies the horizontal and vertical sync pulses to the cameras to lock into, to square up a nice raster, synchronise the picture. Anyway, this is the sync pulse generator. And yeah, it works quite nicely in synchronising the Sony camera. Anyway, yeah, first things first, I'll power up my working camera and show you the nice black and white images you get from it. So, bear with me while I set this all up. Now it's time to let her rip. And the power, and we'll have this camera be powered up. Oh. Well, that's just great, isn't it? This don't fit. So I'll power her up. Now, let's just see if we got any... Oh shit, this don't look good. Well, it's working, but the viewfinder ain't working. Actually, the viewfinder's starting to shape up. Just wonder if I've got the right amount of current going through this thing. It's a bit of a problem. Oh, let's switch over to the camera and see what we get. Okay, she's working. I'll just switch the audio over. The audio's coming from the camcorder. Yeah, this camera's working. Although I'm not sure if it's working perfectly. I'm not sure if I've even got the right. I'm not sure if I've even got the right amount of current flowing through this thing. It looks a bit unstable on the monitor, which I'm not happy about. So the monitor seems to be blinking away. Okay, let's see how this camera's working this time. Okay, looking good on viewfinder now. Actually, it looks even better on viewfinder. Now I'll switch over to camera. Okay, we've got an improvement in video brightness, but yeah, it's still flickering on the monitor. Oh shit, the video lead just came out. Yeah, the video lead just came out then. Oh, she's back in now. Anyway, I'm not sure how the video looks on after played back on tape, but yeah, on the monitor there's a bit of flicker, which is not cool. I don't know why that is, but anyways, it's working a bit better now. Got a bit better brightness. And just holding the camera towards me. Just flick over to camera 2 and see what I'm doing. Yeah, this camera makes quite a nice picture for a camera made back in 1967, 68 or somewhere around then. Yeah. Very good quality black and white vidicon camera. I might actually switch it over. I might actually plug this directly into the VCR, see if that improves things, because this switch is a bit bodgy. So that's the switcher I'm using. It's an El Cheapo switcher, and it was pretty. The original switch was pretty bodgy. I don't know how they managed to make it sellable, should I say, in the reject shops. I mean, because that's below par standard. But somehow they made it sellable. So yeah. Anyway, I modified it, put a better switch in, and it works a lot better. Still not working perfectly low. Anyway, we'll plug this into the VCR and see if I don't get a flickery picture on the screen. Picture's still flickery, but not much I can do about that. I think it's just the monitor. The monitor just can't seem to handle nicely to an older camera. Otherwise, on the viewfinder, it's making a very beautiful black and white picture. And as you can see in my videos on my Troy's Visual Arts channel, you can see the nice fine black and white quality, fine quality black and white pictures this camera makes. And that's my little makeshift MBTV test card for my MBTV camera, which is over here. Alrighty, show's over for this camera. Now let's get down to business and work on that other camera. All I have to do is transfer this adapter connector over to the other camera. So that's the first thing to do. And I'll consult the manual to find out which plug does what. Here we are. It gives the map of what each pin in the camera socket does. It's pretty much standard for all these vidicon cameras made from the late 60s to the mid 70s. So it's pretty much a standard layout. Okay, she's all plugged in. Okay, now we'll power up and see how we go. Yeah, as seen no picture on the viewfinder. I'm getting jack deadly squat. I'm going to switch over to number 1 and you'll see what I mean. as you can see, you can't see jack diddly squat coming from this camera. So yeah, what I'm going to have to do is do some testing of the video signal path to see if there's any open circuitry somewhere. See if this is actually even getting an image pick up from the vidicon tube. Now I've got my service manual here, so I'll follow it accordingly to find this fault. Hopefully I'll find it tonight. Now I'm going to take this metal covering off. I'm going to power the camera down first. Start to work on it, don't pull it apart while it's live. So I'll do that and get started. Righty, here's the interior of the camera. Something sounds like it's loose on the inside. No, it's just the money. Anyway, this is the interior of the camera. It's the back side of the main circuit board containing most of the circuitry. That here is the yoke containing the vidicon tube, scanning coil yoke, the horizontal vertical scan coils, and this is magnetically focused, so focus coil as well. The tube's on the inside, so you can probably see the back end of it right there. See it all better from the other side, of course. That's the back end of the vidicon tube, small 2.5 inch, sorry, 2 2/3 inch vidicon tube. Yep, here's the circuitry from the other side. Classic solid, late 60s solid state circuitry. That's the viewfinder, tiny little TV screen. The picture tube's about 3 centimeters by about 2.5, I believe. Now, we'll just have to start consulting the manual and see where to go looking for this fault. Oh yeah, as a helping guide we've got in the manual the waveforms at various test points on the main circuit board, and probably also the viewfinder circuit board as well. They're all the waveforms, so that'll give me an accurate guide to where I can pick the fault. Okay, I'll connect this camera up and power it up and connect the scope to it, and let's start doing some fault finding. Yeah, so find a suitable earthing point to connect the earth lead and get started. So I guess this will probably be making alright earth connection. So connect the video output to the scope. Now power up the camera and see what we get at the outputs. Okay, we'll auto set the video. Yeah, looks like we're not getting anything intelligible here. Let's see what as we trigger it. Ah, yeah. Oh, we are getting the blanking pulses. I'm just not getting any video information coming out. So yeah, somewhere between the input and the output there is open circuitry. So what we'll have to do is start from the target end of the camera's. Well, I'll have to start from the target output from the camera's tube and work my way through the video amplification and processing stages to the output and see what we get. See where we lose the video signal. Consulting the manual. Oh yeah, so target goes to the P board. Now I'll have to find this P board. Yeah, that's the P board, that's where the head amp is. Yeah, I'll have to somehow remove that and so I can test it out. Actually, should be an easier way to test whether the target is actually working on it. Actually, I'll probably check, to make things a bit easier, I might actually check the signal going to the video signal coming out going to the D circuit board, which is the deflection circuit. Ah yeah, pin number, I'm just going to find, what I have to test is first is waveform number 4. Try and get this in a closer view. Yep, waveform number 4, video in, going to the D circuit, the deflection circuit. Basically, we've got to make sure we've got a video signal coming in. So I'm just going to locate that on the D board and we'll know whether the problem lies in the head amp. Ah, here we are. X1. Now we'll locate on the conductor side. I should have done that first. Found X1. Take out the video connector. Connect the bloody crow lead in. Now I'm just going to hunt and find test points. Let's connect this to a suitable earth connection for this. As you can see on the scope, we're getting the sync tips but we're not getting a video signal. No video whatsoever. So the fault lies within the somewhere between the vidicon target and the P board, somewhere on the head amp, the P board. So the D board's fine, but there's a problem within the head amp or the vidicon target. So as seen here, this on waveform number 4, that's the type of waveform we should be getting, but instead I'm getting just sync tips, nothing else. Yeah, I don't know if there's a waveform for the target target output from the tube. We'll go through the waveforms anyhow. Point the camera down towards the page. See, waveform number 1 is the horizontal drive pulse. Waveform number 2, the cleaning in blanking pulse in. Number 3 is the cleaning pulse. Number 4 is the video in, which I was checking for on the D board, which I wasn't getting no video signal coming in. Pin number 5, waveform number 5 is the video output. Waveform number 6 is the viewfinder video output. Number 7 is the deflection output. Number 8 is the number 7 is the horizontal deflection output. Number 8 is the vertical, the viewfinder deflection output. Number 9 is the horizontal clamp. Number 10 is the X waveform, or transistor number 18B or something like that. Not sure on that one. Number 11 is the vertical sync pulse. 12 is the blanking and sync pulse. 13 is the vertical deflection in. 14, I'm not sure of that one, it just says X10. Assuming the waveform you get at transistor number 10. 15 is the vertical deflection output. 16 X10E, don't know about that one. 17, don't know about that one either. X12. 18 viewfinder deflection output. 19 X12E. 20 the cathode and blanking. 21 the DC to DC converter. And 22 X30 304B. Not familiar with those ones, but anyway. Nothing to say target output. So yeah, I think it's probably best to just test the points on the P board. See what test points you got on there. Fault lies somewhere on the P board or the target output from the tube. What I'm going to do is take this lens off and I'm going to see if I can induce a bit of noise into it. No, I can't even. Don't think I can do that because I can't even reach the target from the vidicon. It's just a bit of a barrier here. I'll take the ring off and see what if the target connector is on there behind it. Silly idea that was. No, it's not going to work. Well, what I have to do is take the P board out, the head amp, and extend the target lead and whatever other lead and test it. probably not surprise me if there's a faulty transistor in there somewhere. If that's the case, I'm going to have to find a suitable replacement that's compatible. There we go. So that won't be a problem now. Now I can start checking the target input to the keyboard. Just going to hook everything up once again, power up and see what we get. I think the easiest way to tell whether a video signal's coming through is when I touch the target lead, screwdriver, we should get some noise coming through to the other side. If not, we know there's either the target's not working or the there's a fault on the keyboard somewhere. So now it's time to touch the target. What we see on display is just the sync pulses, just the blanking pulses pretty much, and pretty much nothing on the video line, nothing but a bit of fuzz. Anyway, let's touch the target leading. Yep, we're getting noise there. So the target is definitely working. We're definitely getting video going through to the other side. Let's see how it looks on display. So I'll switch over to my camera now and see what we get. So I'm on my camera now, no picture. When I touch it, touch the target with the screwdriver, we get noise. So, our problem, I believe, lies in the tube itself. Because if the preamp is amplifying noise, we get noise at the output, it should be, by all means, the keyboard should by all means be working. But we're getting like nothing coming from the target, so it means that the tube is screwed, more than likely, anyhow, unless the target lead is broken somewhere, which can also be a possibility. Yeah, right now what I'll do is I'll once again test the video going to the D board, see if everything's A-OK in that area. So yeah, we get nothing but the sync tips. So but when we stick a screwdriver on the target input, we get noise. Alrighty, I think I might just wrap things up for tonight and continue this project on in the next episode. I do have a few 2/3" vidicon tubes in my bedroom packed away in a box. I'm going to be going through those, and I'll check the vidicon tube out when I look at this project next, this camera next, and see what vidicon tube type it is. I'm pretty sure it would be a standard type, which I would have a replacement for. So So yeah, we'll look at the vidicon tubes I have and see if I can find a suitable replacement. And I'll replace the tube and see how it all goes. Alrighty, well, did not manage to complete any of the projects I intended to do tonight, but at least I'm making a bit of headway in fault finding with the vidicon camera. At least now I've narrowed the fault down pretty much to the vidicon tube. It's more likely the tube, but it could be something else as well. You never know. But basically, if I'm getting noise when I touch the target, and I'm getting noise going through to the video output, means that the head amp should actually be working. But obviously, yeah, I'm not getting nothing coming from the target, so hence it'd have to be the tube, unless of course the target lead might be faulty. But yeah, anyway, we'll investigate and find out what's going on. I'll continue on this project in the next episode, and hopefully I'll have a replacement tube to stick in and test out to see if it works. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of Troy's Garage Adventures. This is Troy from the Troy's Digital Arts channel, signing out. Good night.